What's up YouTube, it's Decklists TCG here and welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. Today we're going to be checking out the results of the Osaka Champions League that recently happened with 5,000 players. So we're going to be seeing which decks are actually great with the introduction of the powerful BUDEW from Prismatic Evolutions. These cards are already legal in Japan, so we're going to have a little bit of an idea of which archetypes are still good after that set gets released with all that item lock shenanigans in combination. So if you guys are excited for today's upload, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways to support the channel, and if you like what you see, feel free to of course subscribe. You're gonna get more Pokemon TCG content like this one. So with that being said, I'm not gonna lie here, Archaludon, Lugia VSTAR was able to win the entire event. I know it seems strange, but because that archetype hasn't performed all too well in the Western world, but over in Japan, it actually was able to win. So we're going to be checking out the top 16 deck list from that 5,000 player event over in Osaka. Osaka is actually a very cool city. I went there before, and I have to say I want to be going to Osaka once again because it's a really nice place to just hang out. So with that being said, Yota Wakai was able to win with Archaludon with Lugia VSTAR. So it seems like the V-Stars, before they're rotating all the way in, April, we're going to be seeing them in action a little bit more before they disappear. So we see here a 4-4 line of Archaludon EX. So that's actually pretty interesting. It's a very tick line. That means that you don't have to use your items all too much to search them out. A high amount of supporters as well. 4 research, 3 Iono, and that's going to mean you can instantly just draw cards and find your attacking Pokemon. Radiant Greninja helps also to draw cards, so if you get an item locked, we don't actually mind too much. And there's also a very good way you can just Torton a Dialga into play to then use the powerful ability on the Archaludon EX to accelerate energies and just win games. We have the Scoop Up Cyclone in combination with 2 copies of the Professor Turo scenario. This actually is very great because you can easily reset an Archaludon, reset the damage that is onto the Archaludon just by using Scoop Up Cyclone or Turo. All the energies are actually going to the discard pile with Turo, which is actually pretty interesting, as you're going to be able to, of course, accelerate them back on with the ability of an Archaludon, which is awesome. So Turo and Archaludon, they are best friends, it seems. You have Pheasantipede as in every deck, and there's also the Relicanth, which really helps out to just slap more damage than the 220, because if you get damaged, you can use a Relicanth on the bench, and then you can use the attack of a Duraludon. So Archaludon, the archetype, we did test it out before on the channel, so definitely check that video out if you haven't already. Lots of nice stretchers in here as well, because not only can you get the Pokemon back, also the energies, and if you get an energy back, you can draw cards with the concealed cards of Radiant Greninja, Palpat even to get your Turos back. So this is a very streamlined, consistent archetype that we really need to test out on the channel soon. So that's actually what got first place at the Osaka Champions League, again with 5,000 players. So if you want to be playing Metal type Pokemon, now is the time. We have Asuka Kamikaria, if I pronounce it correctly, with Ancient Box. So a lot of archetypes that I did not expect to do well are doing well suddenly. So we see Ancient Box with 1 copy of the Munkidori. Really nice, because then you're going to be able to, of course, replay some damage counters left and right, which is pretty interesting. Also 4 copies of the Great Tusk, so there are no copies of Walking Wake or anything in there. 4 copies of Great Tusk, and that's gonna help out to sometimes against specific archetypes mill. With Brilliant Blender, the ace-pack card by your side, you're gonna be able to discard 5 cards from your deck. The cool thing is that if you want to find a Pokemon, let's say you have a Night Stretcher in hand, you can also use the Night Stretcher to get a Pokemon you want. So that's also something as a cool combination with Brilliant Blender. Or if you want to be using a Dark Patch, you can discard an energy as well if you want to get some crazy combos going. With the Dark Patch, you're also going to be able to attack with Patron EX, which can dish out ridiculous amount of damage depending on how many prize cards the opponent has taken. And the main objective is clear. You want to be discarding all your ancient cards, whether it's going to be Pokemon like Roaring Moon or Great Tusk or Fluttermane, Earthen Vessel, or maybe even items and supporters as mentioned, Earthen Vessel, Professor Sawdon, all that, Ancient Booster, Energy Capsule, all those cards. You want to get them all in the discard pile and then slap a huge amount of damage with the Roaring Moon. So that's pretty much the deck. It got 2nd place, so another deck we definitely need to revisit with Brilliant Blender nonetheless. So very cool to see indeed. 3rd place was Dragapult Dusknoir with Ryonosuke Murata. So let's see what it's all about. This is a very similar list like the list that actually won Dortmund regionals, because you're playing Dusknoir, you're playing Dragapult. There is no Tatsugiri in here. Just note to self, they have introduced new cards in the list, and that's going to be the first time we're seeing the powerful BUDEW. BUDEW is a card that slaps 10 damage, and on the opponent's next turn, they are item locked, so they can no longer use Rare Candy, Nazball, Ultra Ball, Earthen Vessel, Switch, Night Stretcher. All the items are pretty much blocked. A very powerful card that will be a staple in a lot of archetypes going forward. Even with that, there's also Klefki, which can help slow the opponent down against specific archetypes as well. So 2 copies of Lance. This is going to be Lance Last Stand, if I want to be saying that, because Lance is rotating soon and Lance hasn't seen any amount of play, but it will now be a very staple card, as you're going to be able to use Lance under item lock, which is very great to get your Dracloak all set and ready to go, and that's going to help out the archetype for sure. Also a copy of Team Evo with the high amount of Arven can also help get your Dracloaks into play. So Dragapult is still going to be great with Prismatic Evolutions. With the help of BUDEW, you're going to be slowing down opponents while you're going to be able to, of course, set yourself up quite easily. Then we have 4th place, Kiriyashima with Lugia Archeops. Ladies and gentlemen, Lugia will never be bad. That's what we're saying here. So not only is Lugia getting a better Minccino, the Minccino is actually slapping 20 damage, which could be relevant in specific situations. So you're getting the new Minccino with 70 HP. You're getting Regiggas, and Regiggas is a ginormous boost for the deck. You're slapping 100 damage or 330 if you slap damage against a Terra Pokemon. Whether you're attacking Charizard EX, Dragapult EX, Ceruledge EX, it's very great that Regiggas will become a staple for every Lugia deck out there. So what else is new for Lugia? That's pretty much it. You're just getting Regiggas, you're getting better Mincinos, and that's it. And then Lugia wasn't bad to begin with, and that means that the archetype is still thriving before it will rotate in April. So yeah, 14 days after the set of Journey Together releases over in March, we're going to be saying goodbye to a lot of cards. If you want to be knowing which cards are rotating, definitely head over to my other video. We're talking about all the relevant cards that are rotating. But as you see here, this also does not have to play BUDEW, which is great. And yeah, the deck is still thriving here. So yeah, the same supporters as usual. 1 copy of Carmine, 1 copy of Jacques. There is a Torton in here, which can, of course, get yourself a Pokemon back if the opponent least expects it. So if you want to get a Minccino out of nowhere, or if you want to replace Luminia with another Pokemon, or if you want to use Regiggas twice, it is possible through the means of the Torton. So that is definitely cool indeed. A mixture between Masagosa and Jamming Tower, and Lugia is still around. Moving forward, Ceruledge. Takayashi Yoneda playing Ceruledge. This will not be the last Ceruledge we're taking a look at today, so get yourself some Ceruledges, because with the introduction of BUDEW, the archetype actually now has a turn 1 attacking option. You're always going to be going for Attach Retreat, attack with BUDEW. BUDEW attacks for 0 energies, which means you now have the power to slow the opponent down enough so you can have, of course, your combination going. The cool thing about Ceruledge is that you're slapping more damage depending on how many energies you're getting in the discard pile. With a high amount of Earthen Vessel and Radiant Greninja and stuff like Professor's Research, you can definitely get the energies in the discard pile ASAP. 1 copy of the Pokestop and Secret Box in here. Sometimes you see Brilliant Blender in this list as well. But yeah, Secret Box can allow you to get a Stadium, a Tool card, an item, and it also just allows you to discard 3 cards from hand. So if you're getting a lot of energies in hand, you can then use Secret Box to, of course, discard those energies, get Earthen Vessel and a Research, so things go a little bit smoother. You can also search out the Secret Box through the means of the Irida that is also in this list, or through the means of Lumineon. So I think Ceruledge will become more popular with the help of BUDEW, because this was a deck that typically went just on the first turn, do some stuff and then pass. But now, Attach Retreat and going for the BUDEW is going to help out a lot. Mark my words. You also have 3 copies of Bulbasaur. So with by turn 2 or something, you're slapping more than 200 damage. So go after the 2 prizers with Ceruledge. The cool thing also is that there's still a lot of Teal Mask Ogerpons in the format. And another good thing is that Archaludon is weak to fire. If it's not attacking, you're going to be able to just knock it out because of weakness. If it does attack, it is no longer having a weakness, but you can take down the Archaludons on the bench, for example. So interesting for sure. There's also Palkia VSTAR still in there, and the Palkia VSTAR is going to be really useful. There's only one Palkia V and a Hisuian Heavy Ball, so that's why it's in there. That's why it's a 1-2 line instead of a 2-2 line, because Hisuian Heavy Ball technically searches it out. And Palkia VSTAR will allow you to attack with Radiant Greninja at 1 point, so this is also an archetype I'm really hyped for. Okay. Then we have Akira Kurashaki with Miraidon. So Miraidon also still around. It does not play BUDEW. It is having the Minior Pact. So the Minior technology, just to help out, because there was an exploit with Miraidon that, Miraidon is not playing any switch cards. It does play Rescue Board and Latias, so have that free retreat going around. But if you ever see a Snorlax block, you're instantly losing, and that's why Minior can save that, lose condition. So Minior is in here. Other than that, it's stuff we've seen before with the Area 0 under dab going wide on your board. As soon as you have the Terra Pikachu EX up on your field, you're going to be able to go wide and all the way into 8 bench Pokemon, which means Raikou V is a very enormous threat. You can even get that Raikou back through the means of Super Rod. There's a lot of one-offs in here, so Super Rod is actually a very cool option. Also could allow you to get energies back from the discard pile on top of the deck, so you can, of course, have more successful electric generators. Miraidon is a deck that lives and dies by its success rate of the generators, and with 2 copies of the Iron Hands, you're going to be able to cheese out some additional prize cards against low HP Pokemon. There's a Raichu V in here, which can blow up on very big HP Pokemon, and Magneton can help do the heavy lifting to get those extra energies into play. A cool thing is that this list actually is playing 3 copies of Professor's Research. In the past we saw like lists with like 4 Arven, 4 Boss's Orders, and that's it. But now with additional research in here, I think it's not bad indeed, and you don't have to be afraid to discard stuff, as you do come back with that Super Rod. Okay. Then we have 7 plays. Archaludon did incredibly well. We have EK Kanaki with Archaludon. This one is actually playing no Dialga V-Star, so let's take a look at it. Even more consistent. Look at that. There's not a lot of 4 Jamming Tower. Okay. So a very straightforward list with all 4 offs, 4 Nazball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Duraldon, 4 Archaludon, 4 Research, 4 Boss's Orders, 4 Jamming Tower. This is the most consistent Archaludon list I have ever seen. So it has been doing really well. Will it continue on in the upcoming Western tournaments? We'll have to figure that out. So Archaludon, very, very nice to see. 7 plays. Kazuki Ashakura, Lugia VSTAR. Also 2 Lugias in that top 16. Or will it be more? We'll figure it out. So Regiggas, 2 copies. So this list is leaving behind the Chinchinos altogether, and also is playing more copies of Mesagosa just to make sure you can find Pokemon underneath item lock. So I also was thinking about this for a second. If you get BUDEW, it's going to be a little bit more tricky to get those discard synergies going. But as soon as you just get more Mesagosas, you can find your Pokemon quite easily and get those Archeops in the discard pile. Because I can understand if you get an item locked, finding Lugia VSTAR might sometimes be a little bit hard, or finding your Archeops to discard. This also is a list playing Lightning type energy, so double Iron Hands in here. So I think there's also a list you need to explore here. You might think, why is Drapion V in here? There's no more Rapid Strike, Single Strike, or Fusion Strike Pokemon. It's just there. It is still in the format just to deal with stuff like Gardevoir EX. So Drapion can knock out a Gardevoir EX instantly. Iron Hands can take 2 prizes on low HP Pokemon, or you can even go for the Wellspring Ogerpon. And if you're up against a Charizard or a Dragapult EX, you have Regiggas. So this is a very streamlined Lugia list, and I'm all for it. So Lugia is not dying anytime soon. So 2 Lugia in the top 8, 2 Archaludon in the top 8. We have Kazuki Inoue with, what is this? Dragapult Gholdengo. Like, let's drop our binders and make a deck. That's pretty much what it is. So, you look at the energy costs. Look at those different type of energies. We have metal energies. We have psychic energies, fire energies, darkness energies. We have a 4-4 tree line of Dragapult EX, and we also come back with 2 copies of TM Evo and Gholdengo EX. I don't know how to feel about this, to be honest. I like that Gholdengo is there for some additional draw power, but you do have that already with Dracloaks. Your max damage output of a Gholdengo is only 200. Why would you ever want to be using something like this? Is there a deck out there that is very hard for Dragapult to deal with that you want to be using Gholdengo with it? Yeah, you have a superior energy retrieval, I suppose, but the max damage output you can do is 200. So maybe this is going to be a way you can attack a little bit easier. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever be playing a deck like this. You do have the BUDEW for some item lock. You have the Unfair Stamp. You have TM Evo to evolve your Pokemon. You have Monkey Dory because you're playing Darkness type energies. That can help out as well. You have Klefki. You have Crispin. Crispin can also power up your Dragapult, and that's that. And with the Arvins, you just get your setup. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm a bigger fan of playing something like the Precious Trolley to get your board setup going. But this with Unfair Stamp and with the Gholdengo, not a big fan of it. But yeah, they did really well here. So congratulations on playing something unique. Dragapult Gholdengo. I don't think people will have the same success when they play this archetype. Shintaro Fujiyoka with Ceruledge. So more Ceruledge players coming out of the woodworks here with... Oh, this is actually not playing BUDEW. What? Why would you never play BUDEW here? Why would you not play BUDEW? It's just a one-off inclusion and it allows you to just do something. This is just a streamlined list with Carmine, Lumineon, 1-1 Palkia VSTAR. We have Pheasantipede, Radiant Greninja, and lots of research in there as well. Prime Catcher as the ace pack card of choice, so that's interesting. So no secret box and lots of jamming towers. It seems like jamming tower is seeing more and more play just to stop the TM Evo builds from succeeding. And also again, Monkey Dory in here because Ceruledge does come back with a reasonable amount of HP. And you can just move out some damage counters with the Adrenabrain. Also Briar in here, taking that additional prize card. And then Ryocho Sawaguchi, 11 plays with Lugia. So 3 Lugias in the top 16. We have not seen any Charizards as of late. So it does seem that the high amount of BUDEW in the format will slow down specific archetypes. So Lugia here, 1-1 line of Chinchinos, a little bit, there is Torton in here, so I guess it's alright. We see Weirder. We see Drapion V for the Gardevoir EX matchup. And only 1 copy of Mesa So still a lot of Ball Engine cards with 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Capturing Aroma, double Nest Ball. So yeah, if you get an item locked, sometimes you cannot get your Archeops in this card pile. So it all depends on if you're going first, I suppose. But yeah, with going first, you do have the option of going Squawkabilly. You have the option of going Carmine, so that's good. So 3 copies of Lugia. Lugia is definitely gonna be, doing its stuff. Yuto Mori. And actually is going to be the format that we're going to be playing for EOIC. So, yeah, take a look at all these lists, folks. You're going to have to note what they're doing right. Okay, another Miraidon. This Miraidon list is actually just going for the 4 Arven, 4 Boss's Orders. And does come back with more Ball Engine cards. You do have the entire 1-1-1 lines. We have 1-1 Magneton, 1 Raikou V, 1 Raichu V, 1 Pikachu EX, 1 Pheasantipede, 1 Mew EX, 1 Latias EX, 1 Iron Bundle, and 1 Lumineon. Double Squawk. I love the idea of double Squawk when you're not playing research, so I guess that's a great thing. Double Forest Sealstone, so yeah, another list to be playing Miraidon. So again, I have to say there is not too many BUDEWs around, right? We saw BUDEW in the Dragapult Dusknoir. We saw BUDEW in Ceruledge. And that's where it ends. So not a lot of BUDEW being played in this top 16. Like most of these lists do not mind getting item locked, it seems. We have Haru Nishigawa with Dragapult Dusknoir. Okay, another archetype that has been doing really well. And we do see the double BUDEW here and the triple lands. Oh, believe it or not, triple lands in here. So lots of decks are prepared for BUDEW item block by turn 2, that they're coming back with answers like the lands, for example, or a high amount of TM Evo. This list is not playing TM Evo and instead of going just for the lands, and you do have Lumineon to search out the lands. So I like this list quite a bit. And with the Dusknoir and the Phantom Dive, you're going to be swooping opponents' field left and right. Archaludon as the stadium card of choice, so making it a little bit more consistent, I would say. And with that, there's also no... I have not seen any temples. Temple seems to be nowhere around. Okay. Taishi Kato with Gardevoir. 14th place. So Gardevoir also still around. Gardevoir enthusiastic people out there, you can be rest assured that Gardevoir is still a thing. It's playing 4 copies of Callbell in combination with Precious Trolley. So this is a Gardevoir list that wants to just be as consistent as possible with triple Artisan, Precious Trolley, and Callbell. You might think what Callbell does on your first turn, you can fetch yourself a supporter. You're gonna fetch yourself Arven, you're gonna fetch yourself TM Evo, and you're gonna get yourself going. There is no Klefki in here. There is no Fluttermane in here. There's just one Drifloon, one Screamtail. There is a Cresselia in here, however, which can really help out against the Dragapult matchup. So Dragapult is really popular with the introduction of Prismatic Evolutions and that BUDEW shenanigans, so they come back with the technology to beat it in the form of Cresselia. So only one counter catcher. So they made room just to go for crazy consistency. That's pretty much what it is. Only one counter catcher, only one boss, but they do come back with double Turo. So I don't know why you want to have double Turo by your side. Maybe they're all afraid of Snorlax block for some reason. Okay. Then 15th place, Takumi Kojima with Dragapult Dusknoir. Another Dragapult Dusknoir. They're playing, okay, a little bit of mixture. This is actually playing Temple. I guess it's the only way to beat Lugia, because with the help of Regiggas, they're blowing the Dragapults out of the water. So we have the Temple here as a stadium of choice, double counter catcher, double lands, and a copy of the TM Evo. So instead of playing like triple lands and all that, they have like a little bit of a hybrid going with TM Evo as the option to beat BUDEW as well as lands. So they can get your setup going, and if you have your setup, you're gonna be winning games. That's pretty much what it is. So Dragapult Dusknoir, I think there were 3 of them in the top 16. Maybe that is gonna be the deck to beat. So 1, 2, 3, and if you take a look at Dragapult Gholdengo, I suppose there's 4 Dragapult in that top 16. That's 25%, right? Is that 25%? That's only 4 copies. Now, what am I saying? It's not 25%, but it's, if you take a look at the statistics here, it's actually, it was 25%. So my math was still correct. Okay. All right, sure. 25% is Dragapult, so that's gonna be the deck to beat. And then we have Haruki Kawata with Charizard Pidgeot. The only Charizard in that top 16. Let's take a look at it. Okay, it does come back with the Grand Tree, the technology to beat it. There is, however, no Colress's Tenacity in this list. It does play some stage 1, so 2 Charmeleon, 2 Pidgeotto, just to beat the BUDEW strategy. But I would love to see maybe cut down 1 Pidgeotto and add in a Colress's Tenacity, so you can search out the Grand Tree through the means of Lumineon. That's something I personally would include, because your only one-off supporter is Grand Tree. I guess you could go for Forest Sealstone with the Rotom to just get the Grand Tree. I guess that's also not too bad of an idea, I suppose. That's maybe cut down Colress's Tenacity. I guess it's great with Forest Sealstone, but Forest Sealstone could be priced. And you could also not have Arven in the opening hand, but you could Lumineon for it. So it's fine. It's fine. It does the job. We have the Briar. We have the 2-1-1 line of Dusknoir. A very thick line, a 3-2-3 line of Charizard, a 2-2-2 line of Pidgeot EX. So they're including more copies of the stage 1 in the list, so you can get them out underneath item lock, and that's how Charizard most likely will have to adapt in order to be successful with a BUDEW format. So yeah, the conclusion is here. There was 1, 2, 3. There was no BUDEW in the Gardevoir list, right? Yeah, there was not. I personally would include that 3, but they probably want to go for TM Evo. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's only 6 decks out there playing BUDEW. So it's not the end of the world, right? People just have to adapt. That's pretty much what it is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this detailed run through of the top 16 deck list of the Osaka Champions League with over 5,000 players. If you enjoyed it, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, subscribe for more Pokemon content. And this is gonna be one of the last videos of the year. We're closing into the last day of the year. So yeah, definitely check out my rewind video. We had a lot of perfect moments, fantastic moments in 2024. It's all grouped together in the rewind video. You can find it out on my channel and the recent videos. And definitely check that video out. And let me know in this comment section which deck surprised you the most in this top 16, and which deck are you going to be playing after Prismatic Evolutions is legal? Are you going to be going on the Ceruledge hype train? Are you finally checking out Archaludon, Dialga? Or maybe Ancient Box is more of your thing? Let me know down below in the comments. Let's get a discussion started, and I will see you guys soon with more Pokemon TCG content. Thanks for watching. Peace!